There's a Yoruba adage that says a child is influenced by his or her name. Another one says a name live longer than the bearer or precedes the bearer. That a good name is better than title. This goes to show the importance of good name, and to come up with a good name, a lot of work and intentionality goes into it. If you're a business owner or just today's world, you study everything that's going about today, you know that your name like plays a huge part in the success of your life or your business. It might not take like 90% of what will take your business to succeed, but a considerable amount is what your brand name will help you achieve. And people pay hefty sum for brand naming. There are studios who offer, and even designers who offer this service as part of their packages. Like they help you come up with name for your brand, and they pay good money for it. People pay good money for it. In today's video, I will show you how to use AI tools like ChatGPT and Deepseek. It will be like more like a comparison between both, because I use both to generate names, and I will show you like the walkthrough, prompting, and all of that stuff to come up with names that are unique, they are memorable, and also creative. So if you have an entrepreneur or a small business owner in your life, or if you're a designer wanting to, add like brand naming to your service, or just get to know about this skill, because it is a skill, like I said, people pay for it, stick around, subscribe, and share this video. One of the key purpose of AI in today's world is efficiency. How does these tools work for brand naming? They analyze keywords, your prompts, the industry trends to generate like relevant and creative brand name ideas. Now, not all the ideas are solid, but you can piece together like the different suggestions and come up with something good. One thing I like to do with all these AI tools is that I like to like ask it about the topic I intend to talk about. So now I want to talk about brand naming. I asked ChatGPT, what do you know about brand naming, and how do I create a short memorable brand? So now it just tells me all it knows about it, that creating a short memorable brand name is critical step, blah blah blah. The key elements, it talks about the key elements of a good brand name, making it memorable, short, simple, distinctive, relevant, easy to pronounce and spell. Then it tells me like, all the steps involved: define the brand essence, the technique, brainstorming technique, using abstract names, all of that stuff. It also gives me tools and resources. It also gives me example of short and memorable brand name, like Uber, Apple, Nike. Then if it now asks me, would you like help brainstorming a specific brand name? So if so, share your product and your brand or your product. This is when I now come in my prompt that, I have a client whose name is Ezekiel. He wants to brand his fashion business. His main goal is is good at what he does. So basically what I do is to give ChatGPT, this is the point where I give ChatGPT about my business, like what I wanted to help me come up with. So I'm going to tell him about my target audience, the values, the brand value, the brand nouns, the mission. I could put in the mission, the vision of the brand, the desired tone. Now, okay, this brand now, it is the target audience are for matured men, so they want to feel the tone is more masculine. So this is where I go in depth into like telling it about my brand. So when I talk to ChatGPT, I tend to keep it as simple as possible. Like I don't overthink it. I'm just talking to it like I am having a conversation. I've already said that, okay, it's cloth. This sample we are using here, that the clothes are not cheap, neither are they expensive, but they're affordable. So it knows that, okay, this is not like a high-end kind of brand. So the tone is not going to be super luxurious kind of thing. So this is just basically where you just tell ChatGPT about your brand. This is what it came up with. It said, some creative and distinct name suggestion for Ezekiel's fashion business, considering his goal, craftsmanship, the confident, feel-good vibe he offers. So from what I've been able to like give to ChatGPT as the background of the client's business, he has already been able to figure out the tone of voice. He was able to figure out the brand position, that, okay, considering his goals, considering the craftsmanship, considering that he has this confident and feel good vibe he wants to give, these are the names I'm going to offer. So these are the names he brought up with. And not it just like, give like a short breakdown of how he came about the name, or let's say meaning to the name. So it gave me like 10 names: Zike, Ezu, Zekara, Ezik, Kielo, Zilox, lots of it. Then, we're not going to stop here. This is when you like go further, you prompt better. So now I said, I absolutely love all this, they sound unique, but I did a reverse search, they're all taken. So this is another thing you want to know, that ChatGPT, some of the things it will give you are like, there are names that are taken. So you might want to like do a quick check on that. Some of them are not even like businesses. It could be names of things, as plant, places, because part of the names he gave me is like, some are like popular cities in another continent, like that's going to affect like the SEO thing if the client was to go with that name. Like imagine having to use that name and you search it, and the first thing you're not seeing your business, you're seeing some plants, you're seeing some cities. So I said that, okay, can you give me more options? Also, try exploring oxymoron. So me prompting it to use stuff like oxymoron is just like giving it more information to work with. So you could like, instead of I said oxymoron, it gave me a lot of oxymoron inspired name like quiet storm, soft spine, all of that stuff that didn't quite resonate with the brand value. So I told you to try again. But in your case, you could give it like a pointer that, okay, can you give me some names that like, that sound sweet and short, like YouTube, Netflix, Nike. This would help it like, generate something that is more in that kind of that style. So let's quickly jump right into Deepseek. So here is why I like Deepseek. Like I've just used Deepseek twice. Which Deepseek, I just went in there. Okay, again, what do you know about branding? I've tried up to come up with a brand name. My clients, they blah 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 blah. I said the same thing, my goals and everything. Then I also give it more backstory that, okay, I've come up with names like Kaale, Ezav. These are names that ChatGPT has given me already, but these names are like taken. So I've also tried coming up with like 2 words that are like velvet edge, but my client isn't liking it. And I told it, okay, assuming you're a brand name expert, what would you suggest and recommend? Boom. Deepseek is like, okay, coming up with brand name, blah blah blah. It also like, tell me about it. Then he gave me some strategies and ideas that I could use. He said I could use Ezekiel's name in a subtle way, like maybe Zeke and Cole, Kaale and Thread. You could see that these are like really, really, really good suggestion. You told me to focus, you could focus on craftsmanship, like bespoke, the stitch house, thread and form, blah blah blah. It gave me lots and lots of strategies that I could go into. Like I could use the name, I could use location, I could use just abstract or evocative words. He gave me all of that anyways. Then he gave me his final suggestion at Zeke Atelier, the February studio and all of that stuff. And this is another thing you have to take notice when you are like naming a brand. The pronunciation and the spelling, does it match? Because Deepseek gave me Zeke Atelier. So I said, since it's pronounced Zeke from Ezekiel, it might confuse people if you don't try to spell it. Like, okay, if you just say Zeke, you will just go Z-I-C or Z-I-K. You will not go Z-E-K-E. It might confuse people. Another prompting tip for you here is that you could also like narrow it down. Like instead of using like an example, like, okay, prompting it to like give you names that are similar to like YouTube, Spotify, you could infuse a bit of like would I say origin or personality to it. That's, for me, it was like, okay, infuse a bit of Africanness into this name. This person is a Yoruba man. Instead of giving me names like Atalaya, and that's Atalaya, I don't know if I pronounce it correctly, but it's a French word. I don't want a French word in this brand. Instead of exploring French word, could you go more African or Nigerian for your sauce? And give me more Nigerian and African inspired names like Ileri Apparels, which means promise or commitment. That's reflecting dedication to quality. Dudu and Co, which means blackness. So it gave me a lot of African. It went from Nigerian to African to modern African minimalism, like Zuri Collective. I'm sure you must have heard about it before. Zuri. I know that there is a brand somewhere that's called Zuri because Zuri is a very popular name. And there's Nia Apparel, there's Kini Studio. I actually like this Kini Studio because Kini means, look at what he said. Kini is not Kini. It's Kini means, what is it in Yoruba? Meaning evoking, like in Yoruba, it evokes curiosity and uniqueness. And you know why I like this name? Because there are 2 brands currently that I really like, Nigerian brands that are also in the fashion industry, that their names is like similar to this skinny stuff. One is called Kilokosi. Kilokosi means, what are you wearing? That's the meaning in Yoruba, but it's like 8-letter words for Kilokosi. It's like sweet and short, and it's very, very like, it's fun. The name is fun. What are you wearing? I'm wearing Kilokosi. It's fun. There's another one that is Kilenta. Like, what are you selling? That's the direct meaning of the brand. That's of the brand name, and it's sweet to the ear. It's kind of distinct. It's kind of like how will I put it? It's not something you hear everywhere, and I like that. Me prompting Deepseek to like take inspiration from Africa or Nigeria for their source. It brought out this Skinny Studio. It is very, 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 very good. So you want to like take that also into consideration. Specific with your keyword. So if your brand is like, one of their goals is sustainability, like I said before, put it there. Is sustainable. Give me let's come up with a prompt here, like generate or give me, I don't like using all this kind of word, like give me a modern eco-friendly brand name for a sustainable clothing brand targeting millennials. So you can give it like some keywords like green, fashion, organic, minimalistic, those kind of things to help you come up with a good name. Another thing is to like include constraints. That constraint is like for the brand which I try to create name for, I told it to, I don't want generic name. Don't give me a name that includes fashion. I don't want something like KL fashion, KL clothing. So you already like it. Also, that would reduce the amount of gibberish name it generates for you. So in all the names it generated from you, can see that there's nothing like House of Ezekiel, House of Clothing, House of Clothing Fashion. There's nothing like that. So that helped me like narrow down my results better. For Deepseek gave me some names which I actually liked. I like the and co name he brought. So I told you that, okay, how do I sell this idea to my clients? And this is from a designer's perspective, that if you're offering these services. So I asked him that, okay, how do I sell this brand, this name to my clients? Because my client feels this name is too legal. It feels as though it's in a partnership with another one, but it's another person, but it is just him running the business. How do I sell the Anko idea to him that it is not just a partnership with somebody, but it is a more creative side of the name? Then it just, it gave me reasons. So you ask for explanation. So when it generates name for you, ask it, what is the reason behind this name you gave me? And why does this name work? It also help you like with ideas. So look at what I say, Anko is, you also give me an example, like look at high-end brand, Tiffany & Co, Mark and Spencer, blah, blah, blah. They convey tradition over quality. You talked about scalability and how it is creative and not literal, and how I can sell the idea to my client. It just basically even gave me a pitch. It gave me a pitch on how to like sell this name to my client. And it also even gave me other alternative if my client was not like fully convinced on using the Anko name. It gave me other sample pitch. So you need to like ask your ChatGPT or whatever tool you are using that, what is the reasoning behind this name? Some common mistakes that you should avoid when trying to like brainstorm for your name is that don't try to think about it too much, don't overcomplicate it. And also you must always check if the name is available. Personally, I use Namecheap because their domains are like affordable. You can use Namecheap to check if the domain is available and if it is even something you can afford. Because some of the names that I really like that I went to check, they're available, like they're not taken, but the cost of the domain is so expensive. So you also check if it's available on social media. You also Google. Apart from using like Namecheap or GoDaddy or other name domain search website, also Google to check, okay, is there, hope it's not conflicting with anything. Then in whichever country you are, you also want to check if it is not trademarked. You get, for Nigeria, I think there's IPONigeria.com. I'm not too sure, but with our system here, you need to like have to like maybe talk to somebody, a lawyer, typically a lawyer, that will help you do all of that side of thing. And you also want to make sure that the name does not have a meaning that is offensive in other languages. Like it doesn't mean something that's offensive, basically. And the pronunciation match the spelling. You don't want that mistake at all. Another thing I do and I advise people to do, people want to brand their name, like this client of mine, is that I have about 10 different suggestions. This is your 10 different suggestions. 10 might be a lot, but let's just start with 10 or 5 that you really like. You have checked that, okay, there's nobody taking this name, is available, you are saying it loud, it's making sense to you. Share it to a group of people, your friends or family, ask them what they think, collect their opinion, just to like, will I say, and be testing of the name or something, just to get opinion and weigh it. You have to get the opinion of other people aside yourself, potential clients, just to get the opinion of what they think about it, to help you make your decision. So guys, that will be all about it. Like I said, you have to test this name. AI is just a tool to help you in your strategy phase. You can get a name that is very good and available, sounds sweet using AI. You might not get, but you might get ideas from it. Another thing I want you to put at the back of your mind as a business owner is that think about your future goals. Like, okay, this name I know is sweet now. Like, hope it aligns with what you want your business to evolve into. Just like make sure that everything is like sweet and it's not just, your name is not just a trend kind of thing. So that will be all. I hope you learned one or two things on how to use ChatGPT and Deepseek to create your brand name. If you have any questions, please drop them for me in the chat box. And if you have any suggestion on what you want me to talk about next, or what you want to see next on this channel, don't forget to drop it in the comment box. I'll see you in my next one. And please don't forget to share and subscribe. Thank you for 400 subscribers. Looking forward to hitting 500 subscribers. And if you want me on your project, please send me an email at designandvibes. I'll be sure to respond within 24 hours. I'll see you in my next one, guys. Peace out.